Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Barakahak Wadash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who ruled and teach well. In peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Ra'aya with another video, and I'm going to start it off in Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1, and the header reads, Lament for Babylon. And this isn't talking about the ancient Neo-Babylonian Empire, as it's about to say. It's talking about the daughter of Babylon, which is the United States of America, Babylon the Great, Mystery Babylon, also in Revelation chapter 17, the mother of harlots. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And them sitting down in the dust is them sitting down in confusion. And you can see that right now the United States of America is in a state of complete confusion. Division everywhere, our so-called political leaders making mistakes, etc., etc. And these nations are really starting to look at the United States of America as one of the major causes, the major cause for all the problems taking place on the face of the earth right now. It's no more being called the land of opportunity, the city or the country whose streets are paved with gold. It's no more being called tender and delicate. But now I'm going to jump down to verse 7. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. And we can see that with these prideful Americans thinking that America will never go down. They have that saying, the red, white, and the blue, these are the colors that never run. So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart or mind, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, which is very easy to also see with these Americans. They're given to pleasures. They're concerned about their narcissistic lusts and just think that this life in America is going to keep going on. Little do they know that they're in for a very rude awakening. Talks of World War III, civil war, disease X, the list goes on and on. That sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. And what would cause, the loss of children and widowhood and mass death in one day? Nuclear destruction, which the United States of America is going to be destroyed in one day by 200 million nuclear missiles, which are going to turn it into the biblical lake of fire from sea to shining sea, and then a desolate, uninhabitable wasteland. And I opened up the video with these verses to preface an article on Newsweek.com, which just goes to show that we are living in these biblical times, in the times of the end of this age of the heathens, chiefly of the biblical Edomites, or these so-called white people, primarily from the United States of America. And the title reads, Russia can destroy the U.S. in 1 hour. Putin ally brags. And what did it just say back in Isaiah 47? In one day, thou shalt see the loss of children and widowhood. It's going to take 1 day for the United States of America to be destroyed. And it even gets more specific when we get back into these precepts. 1 hour at that. And Russia is going to be the main nation to lead these other nations into shooting those nuclear missiles onto the United States of America. But let's read a little bit of this article before we get back into the scriptures. Russia would be able to destroy the U.S. in 1 hour, a prominent Kremlin propagandist had said in the latest bellicose threat from the country's state-controlled media as the war in Ukraine rages on. We are the only country in the world that can destroy the United States in 1 hour. Margarita Simonyan, the editor of the Russian state-backed broadcaster RT, said in a clip of a Russian state television broadcast posted online by X account at Noel Reports. It is not clear when this clip was aired. Newsweek has reached out to the Russian Foreign Ministry for comment via email. Russian state television frequently broadcasts inflammatory content and has repeatedly alluded to a nuclear confrontation with the U.S., a key ally of Ukraine in its war against Russia. That's all we need to read of this article. But hey, you're constantly hearing about nuclear destruction in World War III in the news, and the U.S. and Russia going at heads with each other, because that's exactly what's going to happen. And these are exactly the times we're living in. This is Revelation chapter 9, verse 12. One woe or destruction has passed, referring to World War I. And behold, there come two woes more hereafter. World War II, which is past, and World War III, which is quickly coming upon us and will go nuclear. And the two main combatants is going to be the daughter of Babylon, the United States of America, and Russia, which in the scriptures is known as Gog in Ezekiel chapter 38, the North Country in Jeremiah chapter 50, and as we'll get in Isaiah chapter 13, the Medes, the spiritual Medes. But now let's back up the title of that article saying Russia has the capability to destroy the U.S. in 1 hour, scripturally. This is Revelation chapter 18. I'm going to start at verse 1. Babylon, America, is fallen. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon, the great, the virgin daughter, is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. And this is after that nuclear destruction. Man, woman, or child will never set foot in this desolate wasteland ever again. And after a time, only harsh desert creatures are going to be dwelling here. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And that wine is talking about the philosophies that America pushes out. Democracy, feminism, capitalism, that alphabet lifestyle beginning with LG, that atheistic mindset, etc., etc. And we can see a lot of these other nations have clung onto that American way. And what are they seeing? Their countries in disorder. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And America is known as the #1 consumer nation on the face of the earth. We barely produce anything, but we consume everything from these other nations. And a lot of these nations, like China, get rich off of the backs of the U.S. consumer. Verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. And this is talking about the elect of the nation of Israel. The nation of Israel consisting of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the 1/3 of the elect, as they're known in the United States of America, getting beamed up onto the chariots of the Most High, which people ignorantly refer to as so-called UFOs when these nukes hit this place. Come out of her, my people, being saved from the destruction, these plagues that are coming to this whore. Verse 5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. And all you American Edomites in the U.S., you're going to be destroyed by these nuclear missiles. but you're going to be reborn through the loins of your Edomite, brothers and sisters that survive in these other countries outside of the U.S. And you, as well as them, are going straight into slavery. You American Edomites are going to receive you Edomites in general are going to receive double punishment compared to these other heathens. But you American Edomites are especially going to get it the worst because you were the ones that afflicted the children of Israel the most. Read Lamentations chapter 4. That cup shall be passed unto you, and you're going to drink that cup to the dregs, that cup of slavery. Verse 7, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. Back in Isaiah chapter 47, those that are at ease and dwelleth carelessly, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. That lady that said, I am, and there is none else beside me, I shall not see widowhood nor the loss of children. Verse 8, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, nuclear fire from those 200 million nuclear missiles. For strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her. Now we're getting into the meat of the matter. Verse 9, and the header reads, just like it read in Isaiah 47, lament for Babylon, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning from that nuclear destruction. And this doesn't mean these other nations are going to miss America because of how righteous and a God-fearing nation she was that brought democracy and women's rights to the world. They're going to lament because they're no longer going to be able to make money off of this whore by sleeping with her, committing fornication with her. Verse 10, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Point blank period. Russia can destroy the U.S. in 1 hour. Putin, ally, brags. Now let's close it out. Salakia. Now let's close it out in Isaiah chapter 13, verse 17 on down. And the header reads, Babylon will fall to the Medes. And this isn't talking about the ancient Medes in this case. This is talking about those spiritual Medes, the Russians. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. When it comes time for those Russian Edomites to put in those keys and, turn the switches to shoot those nukes, gold and silver, Federal Reserve notes, peace treaties, nuclear weapons bans won't stop them, as well as those other nations, from shooting the nukes onto this whore. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and bows shoot arrows. So this is symbolic for those missile silos and other launch platforms that these missiles are going to be fired from. And what have we been hearing about over the last couple of years? These hypersonic glide vehicles that these Russians have created that they said no U.S. anti-missile defense system can stop. The Most High has put the spirit on those Russian scientists to create those advanced nuclear-capable weapons for these very times we're living in. And they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children, widowhood, and loss of children. Everyone in the United States of America that isn't of the elect of the nation of Israel, you Edomites, other heathens, as well as the 2/3 of our people who refuse to return under their power but want to live this American lifestyle, are going to be fuel for the fire of these nuclear missiles. Verse 19, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And ancient Sodom and Gomorrah was overthrown with fire and brimstone from the sky. And besides being known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures, as it says in Revelation 11, verse 8, The United States is also known as spiritual Sodom and Egypt. And it's very easy to see why America is known as spiritual Sodom. Just look at that lifestyle that's heavily pushed in this country. So, as ancient Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed by fire and brimstone, this modern day spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah is going to be destroyed by that modern fire and brimstone, those nuclear missiles. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. Like I said earlier, after these nuclear missiles hit, man, woman, or child will never set foot on this desolate wasteland ever again. And after a time, only harsh desert creatures will dwell here. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures. And owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. And when we see mainstream news articles coming out with, people that might as well be quoting biblical prophecy out there for everyone to see, we know that Babylon, America's time is near to come, and her days are no longer being prolonged. So that's it with this video. With this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. As we can clearly see, we are almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites, primarily from America, that virgin daughter of Babylon. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babal.